China is working behind the scenes to downplay the coronavirus outbreak, even going so far to falsely accuse the United States for starting it. This tweet from a Chinese government spokesperson claiming that the U.S. Army brought the virus to Wuhan. Amid a global pandemic, why the blame game? Senior research fellow with the Heritage Foundation's Asian Studies Center, Dean Cheng, is here. Why the blame game at this point, Dean? What's China's angle?
Well, I think the Chinese are working very hard for two reasons. One is to basically make sure that China isn't blamed for this global pandemic, to present itself as a responsible player. And this also has a domestic component, right? If the Chinese government says it was the Americans that started it, this is a message that will go over the Chinese government hopes well at home to basically say, look, if there were any problems, it wasn't our fault. It was the Americans who spread the disease to us.
The South China Morning Post, Dean, is reporting that the first case happened in Wuhan, patient 0, back in November 17th of 2019. So I don't know how China's going to prove that. Again, many people scratching their heads and asking why it matters. However, with the pandemic now reaching our shores here in the U.S., do you think Beijing is emboldened?
I think that the Chinese are driven by a couple of things. One is that they clearly are able to influence a number of international organizations. Notice how long it took the World Health Organization, for example, to finally declare a pandemic. Second of all is that they do have significant portions of the American pharmaceutical supply chain. And I suspect that this is also an implicit threat against the United States to say, look, if you tick us off enough, we have the ability to turn off things like ibuprofen and precursor chemicals for penicillin.
95% of ibuprofen is supplied from China. That's an excellent point. Do you think they could limit their exports of what we need right now in terms of masks and disinfectants?
To be fair to the Chinese, they have, at this point, probably the largest number of cases. So I'm not sure that we're seeing evidence of them deliberately slowing down exports. But certainly, I think the Chinese are going to prioritize meeting their own demands before they allow significant exports around the world.
How does this affect the trade deal, the phase 1, and the negotiation of the phase 2? Because it's been argued that there's a possibility that as stimulus for the American economy and the Chinese economy too, that maybe the best stimulus is a rollback of the tariffs. Your thoughts?
Well, that probably wouldn't hurt. But as a number of your guests have already noted, we're looking at an American and almost certainly global economic slowdown. I think that we're looking at a situation where trade is going to, and that's even before people start worrying about whether or not things are safe that are being transported across the world's oceans. So anything that would improve trade, whether it's a reduction in tariffs or a general, anything that will promote a general uptick in economic activity is to be welcomed.
Do you think that's anything that President Trump would do? He comes down hard on China. This is a major campaign issue and a victory for him. Do you think he would actually remove the tariffs?
I think it depends on basically where the Chinese are going. If they keep accusing the United States of starting COVID-19, I don't see much room there for a relaxation in trade tensions. And frankly, I think that political tensions will go up between the two sides.
Yeah, I think you're right. But certainly Beijing starting a new PR war against the United States. Dean, have a great weekend. Thanks for joining us.
Stay healthy.
All right.